Good evening, everyone, and welcome back behind the wire. Just picked up the mineral and salt from the cows. The cows, we preg checked them last week, and today I was able to fence off a cornfield for these cows for in the morning. They were kind of disappointed that I was out there not to put out mineral but to take it from them, but it's just one little night. So they can have one more sleepover out here at the Taylor Ranch. Then off to Cornstalks we go tomorrow. So it's the next day, and gathered cows, loaded a truck, and started driving it. Just about to the cornfield they need to go in. This will take up a majority of my day. It's always kind of a big deal to get stuff to Cornstalks because it's an all-day deal, trucking, but it always feels really good to get them there. I just did some math and called my grandpa. And he's gonna take one load with his trailer because if he hauls one load, that'll save me a trip with this truck, so that's a big time saver. Dad is freeze branding his heifers today, or else maybe we could have the bar top trailer going too, but if that trailer hasn't left by now, which it hasn't, but if it hadn't left this morning, it won't really make a difference. But if Grandpa is able to get the fall pairs up at the front of his trailer and then some cows on the back, then that'll save me a whole trip. So here's our cornfield. Just curious. That's pretty dang hot. Down there. Back up and drop them off. I'm needing to hook up a hose, so I brought some. I hope I have enough. Don't eat all this green grass before the other cows get here. I say that like there's a possibility. Got some cows, cornfield, tank, some hose. There's a hydrant clear up there somewhere. We'll get it hooked up, get some water running. Brought plenty of hose. I'll have to come back with a shorter one just to go up to there, but got a float that when this tank gets full, I'll hook that thing up. But I think I can go for a trip while I fill this up. But yeah, that's a lot of hose left over, but that's good. It's a lot better to have too much hose than not enough to water cows. We're lucky in central Nebraska to have access to all these cornfields that the combine's already gone through. So they pick up the corn and the husks that the combine doesn't get. Well, the combine's not supposed to get the husks, but gets the corn that the combine misses or is laying down or is falling off. And there's plenty of corn trash out there. So it's a great winter forage for cows. And it's cheaper. Cows with calves on them and then weaned and then brought to Cornstalks can go down up to $2 or even more a day per cow. So no more pasture rent today. That's kind of nice. Let's go get another load. Cows don't really build up a whole lot of condition on Cornstalks, but if you are able to kind of maintain their body score or maybe go up a little bit on Cornstalks in the winter, good job. Because that's pretty much the goal, is maintaining these cows, getting them back on track and ready for calving next spring. So that's why it works out good for the cattlemen. And it's beneficial to the farmer too. I'm not a farmer, but it's good fertilization. They're constantly fertilizing the whole field, and they're also cleaning up your corn. So that's gonna reduce your volunteer corn immensely. Now, when you just turn cows out onto corn, something you have to watch out for is acidosis. Those cows have been on summer forages, grasses, and the bugs in their rumen have not switched over yet to consume grains, like all the corn that's out there. So if you're in a field that has a whole lot of corn in it, you need to watch your cows and make sure everybody's still doing okay, and hopefully kind of easing themselves onto the corn as their stomach kind of changes so that it can process that corn properly. The old saying, or whatever it is, says 1 acre of corn stalks per cow per month, and that's still pretty close. We use a cornstalk grazing calculator from the university, and so you put however many acres of corn, how that field yielded, how many animals, and their average weight, and it can kind of give you a pretty close estimate how long that field will last you before you have to move them to the next one. And it's been pretty close, but we've been getting more eating out of an acre than even 6 years ago when I started. There's just so much corn trash out there. There's just so much forage on the corn stalks these days that it lasts a little bit longer, especially if you have a lot of corn down, which I don't prefer a lot of corn down. I like the farmers to get the corn out of there and harvest all of it, preferably, but a little bit of corn's okay. It's good protein, but I'm mostly worried about the forage out there, the corn trash, I call it. Once the plus/slash cows are all on stalks, then the winter job can begin. And if you're new to the channel, I call Ashlyn, my wife and I's cows, the plus/slash cows, because that's our brand. The red cows, call them the red cows sometimes. But once those are all on stalks, then we can start working on the winter job. For the winter job, my grandpa and I, we have a little business called G&J Stalks, where we take in cows on corn stalks for the winter. And since there's an abundance of corn stalks here, we get cows from the Sand Hills of Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota. A lot of people want to send them because it's cheaper. Even with all the trucking, it's cheaper, and there's feed here. Right now I take in cows, take care of other people's cows so that I can take care of my cows. My goal is to someday take care of my cows, or the plus/slash cows, so that I can take care of just the plus/slash cows. And someday I'm gonna make it happen. But for now, and for the foreseeable future, taking care of other people's cows and treating them like my own. So they're all God's cows. Well, here we are. These 2-year-olds have never been on cornfield. They're on cover crops the last 2 years. So I don't know if they really know what they're looking for, but they'll surely figure it out. Also, these 2-year-olds, they've all kind of found each other again. They all just came up to water all in one group. And so did the 3 coming 4-year-olds too. All the young cows. I think they got it made for right now. Time to go clean the trailer. And then the trucking day is, it's a wrap. Next morning, cows are out on stalks and they're loving them and they're spread out on them. So I think the heifers all have them kind of figured out here. See, they like it out here. She had, for her first calves this last spring, a set of twins. Hank Jr. and Pleakley. But anyways, just got their protein tubs put out. Mineral tubs, there's a little bit of protein, but I changed mineral programs to Vitalix. So they're in tubs year round, which is super handy. So I've got protein tubs out here, mineral tubs. She was yawning or something, or smiling. And then I got salt. Got their float hooked up this morning. And look at all this feed. Here's some candy. It's sprinkling this morning. It's a good day. Here in about a half hour, we got some trucks coming with some take-in cows to unload. So we'll go get the load and chute, unloading chute, whichever, and go unload some cows.
That's more of a racing.
Those are racing cows. So that group of cows is unloaded. So I'm headed over here to check out the replacement heifers. I dropped off our bred heifers a week ago on cover crops here. Then Grandpa dropped his replacement heifers off with mine a few days later. So they're all together and they're all laying here in their cover crops. This cover crop that the heifers are on is a mixture of turnips, radishes, Goliath oats, and rapeseed. Oh, that's terrible, I think. But cover crops are very high in nutrition for a winter forage. I really like them. The older cows, they don't need a cover crop to get through the winter. But I really like it for younger cattle that are still developing. So calves and then bred heifers, I also like them on cover crops. And also, cover crops look at that. They look really good in the winter. When you haven't seen anything, that's all wheat, but cover crop, it's green and it's cold and it's still green. I love them. So it's been a good while since I said that I liked cover crops, which was just a few seconds ago in the video, but that was a long time ago. I still really like cover crops, but things have gotten busy around here. G&J Stocks is in full stride. I think we've got 28 semi trucks here unloaded of take-in cows. I think we've got 12 or 13 fields fenced, and we're really rolling right along right now. But we've got plenty of fence to show you guys being built this winter. To keep up with everything, we about have to get a field finished fencing about every day, at least for a while, and then maybe every other day. I doubt we can get that. It's about every day where we gotta build a fence or move a group. Hopefully these cows, for the most part, they won't. We'll get the calls at night, but hopefully for the most part, more often than not, they stay behind the wire. And I want to thank you guys for coming along with me behind the wire and getting everything moved to stocks. Next, I believe the plus/slash calves, they need worked and trucked to cover crops, and we'll be good there. So until next time, we'll see you right here behind the wire.